issues.
Or train tracks.
Yeah, I rode in a Waymo in SF last year. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. But I feel like SF, because there are Waymos everywhere.
Everywhere,
So they have it down, and also that's kind of where the headquarters is, I believe. So I'm like, if I'm going to ride it, it's going to be here.
So there's going to be a learning curve here in San Diego.
Yeah, learning curve. And I saw one yesterday in San Diego, but there was a driver in the driver's seat.
But it was like called the Waymo.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, it's coming. So it's no surprise here if you're waking up thinking, oh, it's a lot cooler, I need a jacket. Yeah, it's pretty chilly out there. We're seeing a lot of scattered 30s, 40s, 50s from the coast all the way towards interior parts of the county. Waking up at freezing, 32 degrees, for example, out in Ramona. We're at 40 degrees in Julian and 46 currently in Borrego Springs. Here's what's on tap for today's highs. Will be in the mid-70s along the coastal areas. Temperatures, daytime highs for the coast and inland valleys are going to trend warmer than average, and that's going to continue all the way through the weekend, especially on Sunday when daytime highs soar close to 90 for the inland valleys. Meanwhile, for the mountain areas, we'll be in the mid to high 50s, and I'm forecasting mid-70s for spots like Borrego Springs as well as Ocotillo Wells. Despite a pretty nice day, we are going to be chilly tonight, so that's something to keep in mind. If, let's say, you have evening plans, maybe you're going to happy hour, maybe the kiddos have events tonight, make sure that you layer up because it is going to be cold, especially for those areas. Me, though, to tell the Florida, and 40 degrees out in Julian. As we take a look at the big picture, we are going to have an area high as well as an area low. Those two together are going to tighten the pressure gradient, and that's going to enhance surface winds coming out of the northeast, also known as Santa Ana's, this weekend. So as we take a look at our wind gust forecast here, I'm going to fast forward to tomorrow morning at midnight and lasting all the way through Sunday evening, but that could very well get extended if those winds continue to linger, especially those powerful ones. Over the next 7 days for the coastal spots, we'll be in the 70s. We will see those numbers start to climb, continue to climb, I should say, all the way through Sunday. The heat peaks on Sunday. I mean, take a look at what the inland areas have in store to get to the start of next week. Meanwhile, for the desert areas, we'll be in the mid-70s all the way through Saturday, climbing about 10 degrees or so by the time we get to Sunday, mid-80s for spots like Borrego Springs. Netta.
All right, Vanessa.
I'm forecasting mid-70s for the coastal communities, for the inland valleys. We'll see some on and off clouds this morning. Most of those clouds will mix out, though, by the time we get into the noon hours. Really nice day. Get used to these temperatures because they're not going away, especially once we hit the weekend. In fact, those daytime highs will continue to climb. And here's what I'm talking about. We'll be in the high 70s now all the way through Saturday. And then temperatures soar close to 90 degrees on Sunday. Not only is it going to be hot, but it's going to be dry and windy. In fact, the National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory. It's going to take place in less than 24 hours. We'll actually dive deeper into detail with that later on in my full forecast. It is a drive as you make your way out of the La Mesa Grossmont area towards the College neighborhood, and this is the 5 in both directions right at East Street as you make your way in from Chula Vista headed north towards the 54 connector. Things not too bad right now. This is a 78 in both directions. Coming out your screen is that westbound drive as you make your way in from Escondido headed towards Nordahl. We are not tracking any major crashes nor delays. In fact, we're at steady speeds across the region right now, 70 to 75 miles per hour coming in from the East County. If you're coming in from the South Bay headed north, about 65 to 70 coming in from Chula Vista and National City. And here's a sneak peek at one of your travel times coming in from the South Bay north, 10 to 15, about a 10-minute ride full span of the Coronado Bridge in from downtown. Netta.
A family with the Jeep, no doors, no roof, just yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
Like any other state in the country is like, wait, this is how you get to live?
This is how we
I've
roll.
always wanted to do that. Just drive some sort of convertible or Jeep with the top down. That's on my bucket. I've never done that. Have you guys done that?
Around. Yes, we have a Wrangler. It's
oh, yeah. I'm sure. Eric's like, no, not me.
No doors. I'm like,
I need too many seats in my cars with all the kids.
Yeah. Today would be the day to do it, though, because we're looking at just an incredible weekend on tap as we end of the work week. We're going to have a round of Santa Ana winds. So we're going to go from onshore to offshore. That's going to dry things out, lower our humidity levels. It's also going to warm temperatures up quite a bit. All right. right, we are waking up on a cool note. The reason, we have a lot less clouds in the mix. So as you head out the door, maybe you're, I don't know, getting breakfast for the family or you're walking the dog, grab a jacket because it is a lot cooler. Some areas are waking up about 20 degrees cooler than the same time yesterday. We're looking at clear sky. This one's bringing that counterclockwise direction of winds. This one's bringing the clockwise, that area of high pressure there, and that's going to amplify surface winds. So as we take a look at the wind gust forecast, we're looking at some really strong winds this weekend, folks, and that's going to bring dry and warm weather, but isolated gusts could get up to 60 miles per hour or so. This includes the valley community. So as you head out for any of your plans Saturday and Sunday, just keep that in mind. In fact, the winds are expected to get so strong that the National Weather Service has issued a wind for a couple of days into the 70s Sunday, 70s for the desert areas, then 80s by the time we get to the latter part of the weekend.
This weekend, those high numbers we're going to see as far as the forecast for this weekend for some parts of town, right?
Yeah, it's going to be really warm, and it's kind of hard to believe because right now we're starting off on a chilly note, but don't let it fool you because this afternoon we'll actually go from the 40s near 80 for the inland spots. All right, the reason for that, a lot more clear conditions that we're waking up to this morning in Southern California. As we zoom on into San Diego County, we are seeing mostly cloudless conditions across the board, and that's indicated by close to 50, but not quite there for La Mesa. We're at 48. Chula Vista, you're waking up at 49 degrees, as well as downtown San Diego. And we're a little warmer, but not by much in Carlsbad, as well as Escondido in the mid to low 50s. As we take a look at today's highs, we are going to be warmer than yesterday. We're talking about mid to upper 70s for the coast and inland valleys. We could have a passing cloud here or there, but it looks overall to be a sunny day for those neighborhoods, our most populated neighborhoods west of the mountain areas. If you're hanging out in the mountains, it is going to be mostly sunny with highs topping out close to 60 degrees. But just keep in mind that if you're doing anything this evening, make sure that you're layering up because once we get towards those sundown hours, temperatures are going to plummet. All right, we are in for a warm up this weekend along with very strong winds. We'll take a look at those details coming up. Mile of cars passing the 54 connector, and this is a 78. Right side is at drive as you make your way towards a 15 on ramp to head north and south. A stalled bus blocking the right lane in Claremont on the 805 south before Balboa may slow things down for you as you make your way in from the Kearney Mesa headed towards Mission Valley this morning. Other than that, we're at full freeway speeds. Nothing to really report. As I mentioned, green is always what we love to see. About 75 mile per hour speeds coming in from Santee as well as La Mesa. Here's what it looks like for those northbound drives coming in from National City and Chula Vista, about 68, 70 miles per hour or so. And as far as travel times, we're all in the green, 10 to 15 minutes right now, headed northbound. It's pretty slow and go on the bridge. This is usually because they're wrapping up overnight road work. So just keep in mind speeds down about 10 miles per hour or so. And here's travel coming in from the East County headed west, about 3 to 7 minutes at last check. All right, 6:11 is the time. Let's go ahead and pull up those border wait times for you. About an hour 15 to get you in from San Ysidro's port of entry. If you're traveling in from Otay Mesa's port of entry, some improvement, about a 45-minute drive to cross this morning. Back to you guys.
A bit more. So if you haven't done that, maybe tack on a half hour tonight and tomorrow. We'll see.
If anything, I'm in a deficit. I need more sleep.
I know.
We all do, right?
Look at all. Yeah.
Okay, so Sunday is when you wake up, you'll be an hour ahead.
Yes, an hour ahead. And then eventually, March 18th, I believe, is when we will have our first sunset after 7 p.m.
Later days, okay.
Later days, yeah. 6:17 is the time. Happy Friday. We finally made it to the end of the work week. We're waking up on a chilly note, so grab a jacket as you head outside if you're getting the kids ready for school or for any activities. Layer them up because it is quite cool out there. We're waking up anywhere between 10 to nearly 20 degrees. We are going to move from onshore to offshore winds. A round of Santa Ana's take hold today, lasting all the way through the weekend. The reason we have this tighter pressure gradient, there's a greater difference in between pressure between this ridge as well as this trough of low pressure. And that's going to intensify surface winds. So as we take a look at the wind gust forecast, it's going to be dry and warm this weekend. Here's the impact that those Santa Ana winds are going to do to our temperatures. We're going to see quite the rise in daytime highs come Sunday. In fact, we'll go from the upper 70s to the upper 80s, so close to 90 by the time we get to the latter part of the weekend. But then those temperatures come crashing down on Monday. And notice how we have a 20% chance of some light showers. As of right now, In fact, I looked at some of the models before I brought you this weather report, and a lot of them are in disagreement that we'll see any rain. If anything, we'll maybe have some heavy mist, light drizzle. But just keep in mind and don't be surprised in case we see a spritz here or there when it comes to Monday. Here's a quick look at the 7-day for the mountains and desert areas, a warm-up Sunday for them as well, and then we all cool down by this time we get to the start of next week. All right, 6:20 is the time. Let's go ahead to head south in from the North County, about 3 to 7 minutes for those westbound drives headed in from the East County. And then last but not least, here's a look at your travel times out of the South Bay, about 10 to 15 minutes north in from Nashville City and Chula Vista. But we're crawling to get you onto Coronado in from Barrio Logan. It'll take you about 15 minutes, so plan ahead if you're traveling that direction.
I mean, so there's a lot to feel. I mean, see the size of them next to mine right here? So they're pretty big. I mean, these are like size 13s or 14s, so we got to fill these up.
Yeah, they can fit a lot of cash.
Yes.
A lot of coins.
And there's QR codes and Venmo available.
right.
So, yeah,
I love that comparison. We needed that, Eric.
Yes, I mean, they're hard to miss.
Got me a stretch.
Yeah, nice job.
Didn't pull it.
Yeah, and it's always such fun energy, too, when you see them, the volunteers out there with the red shoes. So hopefully you can help out. Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope you all had a beautiful work week. Those nice, mild, comfortable conditions certainly helped us get through the week. But we are looking at a warm up. We're going to experience dry, windy, very warm conditions headed into the weekend. All right, as you head out the door, you are likely going to notice that it is chilly out. It's not just you. Those clear skies are resulting into a cooler start to the day. We're seeing a lot less clouds in the mix. In fact, here's proof of that from one of our Mount Woodson sky cams out in the Poway area. Just a gorgeous start to the day. I mean, take a look at the temperatures across the board. We are cold, and we're actually seeing, surprisingly, some parts to our north a little warmer. We don't really see that typically. Vegas, for example, waking up a little warmer at 51 degrees in comparison to downtown San Diego. We're at 55 in SF, as well as Los Angeles. Meanwhile, you could actually see where the jet stream separates that cool and warm air. We have a warmer air mass just to our east for the eastern half of the country. 61 in Wichita, 58 in Lincoln, 66 in Oklahoma City, for example, across the inland valleys. We're also looking at really strong winds. We'll detail all of that later on in my full forecast. All right, let's go ahead and switch. Indicating some road work by Caltrans going on. This is a 78 coming at your screen. Oh, it looks like we have a stalled semi or portion of the semi there right on the 78 right at Nordal. That may slow things down. Typically, this drive's already slow and go, though. So just look out for that. All right, as we take a look at your speeds, we're at steady. We're headed west, about 55 to 70 mile per hour speeds. And then here are those drives headed northbound, 805 tapping the brakes at about Market Street. Stop and go from the 54 all the way up to the Coronado Bridge. I mean, maybe you don't even have to use the car. You can just bike to wherever you gotta go.
There we go. Looks nice out there now.
I mean, it's gonna be so nice out. And yeah, we're talking about beach-like conditions to kick off our weekend. As we go ahead and give you a live look at the beach. Speaking of the beach, this is for full though, anywhere between 50 to 60 miles per hour or so. So that's strong enough to trigger a wind advisory all the way through Sunday. I mean, those winds really don't take a break until we get to Monday. This is Sunday, and you could actually see those damaging winds continuing for the county's eastern half. All right, here's a wind advisory. It impacts everyone except for the coastal communities. That will start at midnight Saturday, lasting all the way through Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. Your coastal areas look like this over the next 7 days. We also see a climb in those daytime highs come Sunday, and then everyone starts to feel cool down on Monday and Tuesday. That's even short-lived, though, because Wednesday and Thursday, we actually have another ridge coming in, and that's going to warm things up towards the second half of next week. And as on center, La Mesa area headed west. We're still looking at steady speeds across the county, with the exception of the 78. It's looking like a parking lot as you're making your way west, coming in from Escondido, headed towards San Marcos. And then meanwhile, the right side drive, smooth sailing to get onto the 15 connector. I'm still not tracking any major crashes nor delays. We have a small pocket of slowing coming in from the 52 out of Santee. Stop and go as you make your way up the summit, and then those speeds improve once you get down the hill towards Tierra Santa. The 5, you're tapping the brakes right about East Street all the way through the mile of cars, and the 805 brake tapping begins at about Plaza Boulevard all the way up towards the 15 connector into North Park. And on the 5 and the 15, about 60 to 70 mile per hour speeds coming in from Oceanside as well as Escondido. Nada. 7:30 on your Friday. We finally made it to the end of the work week. Just incredible conditions to start off our day. Clearer skies is resulting into a cooler start, but don't let it fool you because this afternoon we're going to start to warm up rather quick. Areas will climb close to 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon, even warmer Sunday before temperatures come crashing down with the 20% chance for showers on Monday. Westbound towards the College area. Meanwhile, this is the 5 in both directions, right? As you come in from East Street, pretty stop and go as you make your way northbound. CBS8.com/traffic is where you can find updates. We'll be back after this. Or this weekend, that paired with a trough of low pressure, that's going to intensify easterly winds, and that's going to pack on warm temperatures along with very dry and windy conditions. So check this out. This is our wind reading at midnight Saturday, lasting all the way through Sunday at 5 p.m. So that's going to be impacting everyone with the exception of the coast. As we take a look at your coastal 7-day forecast Monday, and we even have the opportunity to see some shower activity Monday early morning into the evening. If we do see any activity in terms of precipitation, it will be fairly light. And right now it's looking like a 10 to 20% chance. So the risk of showers is fairly low. As we take a look at the mountains and deserts over the next 7 days, we're going to stay mild in spots like Julian all the way through Saturday. We'll climb about 10 degrees or so on Sunday. For the deserts, we'll be in the high 70s. For
nice, that's a nice view right there. Wow. Take me there.
Yeah, oh, I know. Don't you just envy those who have Fridays off or even work from home? You can go grab a cup of coffee at the beach.
Very nice.
Yeah, this is a look today, certainly tomorrow. So make sure that you're tying down those loose objects. And if you're spending any time outside, also make sure that you're lathering up the sunscreen. If you're headed to the beach, put on the sunscreen. Hopefully it's reef friendly. We have this wind advisory due to the strong winds we're expecting. It's going to be impacting everyone with the exception of the coastal areas starting at midnight Saturday, lasting all the way through Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. Our coastal 7-day forecast looks like 10 is the time. Let's go ahead and see what's happening on your freeways. We're still tracking police activity on the 5 North at Harbor. Vandegrift Boulevard and Harbor Drive off-ramps are closed. The main gate to Camp Pendleton also closed due to suspicious activity. So just keep that in mind if you're traveling through that area. We also have a car fire blocking the 2 right lanes. This is in the Normal Heights area near Kensington on the 15 South right before you hit Adams Avenue. It's causing some slowing coming in from Mission Valley. As we take a look at your freeways, we are crawling coming in from Santee, stop and go per usual, but it could be worse as pockets of slowing are pretty slim out of National City and Chula Vista this morning. Speeds down to about 20 miles per hour. Back to you guys.
Thank you.
Who participated. I know those kids work so hard. So yeah, congrats to you. All right, it is close to 8:30 on a Friday. We finally made it to the end of the week. We got sunshine, vitamin D to go around for everyone today and into the weekend. Currents for some showers early Monday. Alert, we have the off-ramp closed in Oceanside at Harbor Drive, all due to some suspicious activity reportedly happening at the main gate of Camp Pendleton. So make sure that you're aware of that if you're headed either to or from the OC area. We'll be back after this.
Yes, a lot of sunshine.
Yeah.
And the Santa Anas, I'm like already starting to notice, like the dryness is coming, right?
So it really is going to feel like a weather whiplash. We've had cool, moist air move in over the past several days, and now it's going to feel very dry pretty rapidly. It is all due to what's happening aloft. We have 2 systems that are kind of working together, amplifying easterly flow. So the tighter that these 2 systems are, the greater the pressure difference, pressure gradient, and that actually causes very strong winds at the surface. So that's exactly what we're going to experience this weekend. In fact, as we fast forward to tomorrow, the key there right at the top right of your screen along with the timestamp, I'm stopping this at about 11:45. We'll start to feel those powerful winds as early as 10, 11 a.m. And it's going to be really dry in addition to being windy. So isolated gusts, especially going to do for our temperatures. We'll see a rise in daytime highs come Sunday. Beach weather on tap this weekend will be in the low 80s. I know we've been mentioning that Little League started. If you're headed out to watch the kids, I would advise that you pack on again, the sunscreen and the sun protection because it's going to be very warm. We'll be in the high 70s inland all the way through Saturday, and then we'll top out close to 90 degrees by the time we hit Sunday afternoon. And don't forget, daylight savings begins late Saturday into early Sunday, so make sure that you're setting your clocks 1 hour ahead before you hit the bed on Saturday night. Meanwhile, here's what the mountains and desert looks like. We are calling for weather impact day for the inland and mountain areas Saturday and Sunday due to those high winds. In the North County near the Camp Pendleton area, we're still following reports of police activity on the 5 right near Harbor. Vandegrift Boulevard and Harbor Drive off-ramps are currently closed to traffic due to suspicious activity at the main gate to Camp Pendleton. And I actually got confirmation from our producers that this is still an active incident there. So right now it's slow and go near the Camp Pendleton area, just north of the 76. We're also following reports of a car fire blocking the 2 right lanes in the Kensington Normal Heights area. This is on the 15 South right before Adams Avenue. It's causing some slow and go traffic all the way from the 8 freeway. All right, let's go ahead and see what's happening in terms of speeds. Other than those 2 incidents, we're at steady speeds coming in from the North County, the South Bay, as well as the East County this morning. As we pull up a live camera outside, this is the 5 in the South Bay in both directions. Things are starting to improve as we're progressing into the 8 o'clock hour. Eric?